Okay, so now we're in Photoshop and we're going to learn how to draw lines today. So if you look at my mouse, you can see that the yellow is there to show you where the mouse is at. If I left click, you'll see the left click indicator in the bottom right of your screen, and it'll kind of turn that teal color. And if you right click, it turns into magenta, so you know what I'm clicking and how I'm clicking when I do it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to left click on New File. And although there's lots of options possible here and all kinds of different things up along the top, we are just going to stick with a standard piece of paper setting. So 8.5 wide in inches, 11 inches tall, 300 pixels per inch. So that way if we print out on paper, everything looks nice. And we'll hit the Create button. So now that we've got our window here, there is lots of stuff that you will see, and in your tools on the left may look slightly different. In particular, the line tool might be hidden underneath a tool called the rectangle tool, and so it might look like that. We're going to start with that line tool and learn how to draw a line. So I'm going to left click and then let go, and then you can see the line tool, and I'm going to choose that. So now that I have the line tool, I can set some settings up along the top. So first thing is I should be in shape mode. There's different kinds of modes depending on what we want to do. And the fill can be black for a line, and the stroke will be black also. And we can do a really thin line at like 1 pixel, or a little thicker line with 5 pixels wide, or we can make it even wider than that. And the rest is pretty much the same there. If you end up getting arrowheads on your line, so if I draw this line here, it looks normal, but if I do this, I can actually draw lines that have a arrowhead on them. You can barely see that arrowhead, but it's there. You can see it there. So if you ever have arrowheads showing up on your lines, it's because it's underneath this little gear icon, and the arrowhead setting was set. So you shouldn't have any of that for just drawing basic lines. So when you create a line, you'll see these little handles, and down on the right you'll see a new layer appear called line 1, and it'll have this little grid icon, which means that it's a smart object. Smart objects can be manipulated, meaning I can change them after I draw them pretty easily by using this tool over here called the Path Selection tool. If I have that selected, I can grab the line and I can move it. I can grab a handle and change its width. I can grab near the edge and I can spin it around. So with this arrow tool, we can accomplish a lot of different things on smart objects. If we convert a smart object into just pixels, which are the little squares that things are created out of on your screen, then we can't do any of that. We lose those features. So if I was to right click on the layer here and choose the option rasterize layer, when you do that, you notice the little handles disappeared, and now if I zoom in, I can see the little pixels of the line, and I can no longer use the path tool to select anything. It won't let me do anything. So when you lose the smart icon there and you turn it into pixels, it becomes a little more permanent, and it becomes a lot more difficult to manipulate. So step 1, draw a straight line. We did that with the line tool. Next, we would like to take a line and change its shape and warp it. So let's go to the line tool. I'll draw another line, and you'll notice I get a new layer over here called line 2, and it's a smart object still. And I would like to warp this line. So what I'll do is I'm going to go to Edit under Transform Path, because we have a path that we want to change, and we'll choose Warp. When you choose Warp, there's a few different options. and you can change these to like an arc, and it'll change the line into a curve. You can change it to be something like this, like a rise. It means it starts low and goes high. There's all kinds of different options, fish eyes and things like that. And then when you do that, you can usually grab a handle and move stuff around to change its shape. So I'm just left clicking on that little white box there and changing its shape. And then once you do that, then you can check off this, and it'll say this will turn it into a regular path. Continue. Yes. It is still a smart object. It's no longer live, meaning that it's no longer, the warping stuff's not turned on anymore. And you can still see grabber handles. So I can use the path selection tool, and I can grab those handles and move it around. But you'll notice that it doesn't seem like I can grab individual handles. If I want to grab the individual little handles that are there, I have to left click and hold, and I can switch to the direct selection tool. That's the white mouse. And now if I select on it, you'll notice that I can grab and even further distort or change the shape of the line with this direct selection tool. And when I'm done, you can just press the Enter key. So I can draw lines that are straight across, up and down, left and right. I do that by holding the Shift key. So if I hold the Shift key down and drag, it's straight across. If I hold it down and drag this way, it's at a 45-degree angle. You can see it gives you a little bit of a information panel as you're dragging. I'm still holding my mouse down, and it says it's at negative 45 degrees, and it will tell me how long the line is in pixels. So it's 735 right now. And so you can draw straight lines up and down, left and right, or at 45-degree angles by holding down the Shift key and then just kind of dragging in that general direction. But what if I want to draw some connected lines? Well, the line tool is good for drawing individual lines, but it's not good for connected lines. If you want a connected line, you will want to switch to the pen tool. There are lots of pen tools, and they look all similar except for tiny, tiny little icons that are attached to them. But we want the top one called the pen tool. And when we have the pen tool selected, if we draw, I can just left click and it'll start filling in shapes. So if I don't want that filled in region, but I just want the lines, then I have to go up here and change some settings. So I'm on shape mode. You do not want to be in path mode. You want to be in shape mode. I'm going to change the fill to this red slash with white. That means there's no fill color. And as soon as you do that, you'll notice that my line, I just have the drawn lines, and I can continue drawing lines there and hitting Enter when I'm done. So now I have straight and connected lines. I can go back to my direct selection tool, which lets me grab individual little handles and move them around. Or I can switch back to the path selection tool if I just want to move the whole object around. So I can move the whole thing but not change little bits. Or I switch it to direct selection, and I can grab I can click on a handle and then move that individual handle and get its shape to change, hitting Enter when I'm done. So if I want to change it from straight lines to curved lines, then I will use the pen tool. And then when I click, I'm going to click and hold, and you'll notice that I get these handles that show up. The handles help you change the shape of the curve. So it shows you how long they are. And we can do this, and now I'm creating curves. Hit Enter when I'm done. If I go back to the direct selection tool, the white mouse, and I click on the line, I can see those handles, and I can grab the handles and change their shape and length. Changing the length changes how extreme the curves are. And hitting enter when I'm done will give me connected but curved lines. Another type of line that we can draw is with a brush, like a paintbrush. So on the left over here, we will look for the brush tool. So the brush tool, this looks like a brush tool. It's called the history brush tool. That is not what we want. There's the art history brush tool. That is not what we want. If I click on this pencil, I get a pencil tool and a brush tool. We want the brush tool. So when we use brushes, up here we get some settings again. And a big one that's different is this thing where it says 20. 20 is the size of my brush. And if I click it, I can change that size to be a bigger brush or a smaller brush. But you'll notice that as I bring my mouse over here, that it gives me a slash like you can't do this. And the reason why it's saying that is because my layer over here is a smart layer. And the brush is not a smart object. It's a pixel object, or little boxes is what it's drawing with. So we have to have a new layer to put our brush object into. And one option is to just go down to the lower right, and there's a little box with a plus in it. If we left click on that, it creates a new layer. It's not a smart layer because we don't see that little icon. And now when I move my mouse over, I get the little circle that is the size of my brush. If I want to make that brush bigger, again, I click on it up here, change its size. Now you notice that circle is bigger. If I use the little bracket keys on my keyboard, I can make it bigger and smaller. Oh, don't do that while you're trying to do it this way. So bracket keys will change. Oh, it still wants, let me fix this. There we go. There we go. Bracket keys, big and small. You can change the shape of the brush or the size of the brush, or you can just drag up and down on here. Now, if I left click and drag, you notice that nothing, looks like I'm erasing here, but I'm not really erasing. I'm drawing in white. These two boxes are two colors. This is a foreground color, and that's the background color. The foreground color is in white. So when I left clicked, I'm actually drawing in white, and if I hide that layer, the line underneath disappears. And so you can see that I can hide and show that layer by clicking this eyeball icon, and then you can show you what I've drawn. So I've drawn that white, and you can't really see it because of the white background, but if I switch to black and draw, you can see that the brush creates kind of a thick line. That size of that line is driven by the size of your brush. So if I make it bigger, it'll be bigger. If I make it smaller, it'll be smaller. All right, now we want to make curves with our brush. So up here you'll see it says smoothing 0%. That means if I was to try and draw a figure 8, you can see there's some sharp edges to it, and that's because it's not helping me to draw these curves. You can see it, there's just chunky parts, little tight curves from where I move my mouse. So if I change that to, let's say, 60%, you'll notice I get you might get this little circle, the little magenta circle. That's an option actually. You can click on this and say pulled string mode, or you can turn that off, and it has different settings. So I use the pulled string mode because that's what feels most comfortable. And you notice that now I've got a nice smooth figure 8. And if I try and create sharp points, it helps smooth out the points a bit. Whereas if I turn that smoothing down and try and create sharp points, it's a lot easier to create those sharp points than before. So there you go. That's how you draw all the different kinds of lines for this activity.